Hello, friends. Last time we left things hanging, didn't we? The ragtags were just about to enter a tense parley with the archfey Morrgylla in the caverns below her keep. Could they keep things civil and constructive? Was there any way this could end well? Who would say the wrong thing first, Varys or Unya? Was everyone going to die? Yup, high stakes indeed. So, are you ready to hear the rest of the tale? Then let us commence. Jumping right into things, it all shook out like this. Morrgylla immediately demanded that the ragtags return all of her children, meaning all of the prisoners from the nursery, and she would let them leave with their lives. You know, I've been around for, well, a long time, and I'm guessing Morrgylla might not have much experience negotiating or compromising on anything given her past and how that first attempt at a concordance went. She truly believed in her own way that she was protecting the prisoners from the worst parts of life, like grief, betrayal, jealousy. Sounds familiar, right? Braze stepped forward and countered that it was time for Morrgylla to accept that her children needed to spread their wings and face life on their own, and that she too needed to do the same. The guilt-plagued archfey wasn't convinced. Mirka Hain was too brutal a place under Val Rilin's rule. Her children could not protect themselves against his anger and rage. Braze, with contributions from Regal, Unya, and Varys, explained that Val Rilin was the actual child that needed Morrgylla's help and protection right now. After all, the Lord Shade was without his true mother, and as his aunt, it was down to her to help bring him back to the light. For his own sake, as much as for her own, or for the sake of the land. This seemed to resonate with Morrgylla, who became more focused, less unhinged. If not fully believing in what she could actually do for her wayward nephew, she did seem to acknowledge that redemption for herself in this act was at least possible, and perhaps worth the effort and cost. Somehow with that, Morrgylla agreed to let everyone go, and to give the book, the Liber Lunae Infinitus, back as well. I mean, wow. Yes, Braze talked down a guilt-ravaged and morose archfey, securing freedom for the surviving prisoners without any bloodshed. It was hard to believe how successful that all turned out. Some would say it was a critical success, I suppose. With that, Morrgylla bamfed everyone away in an instant. After a moment to orient themselves, the confused heroes and tagalongs realized they had been whisked to the southern border of the Drungamere swamps and were now in what was known as Tiban Ryan, also known as the Queensland. Tiban Ryan seemed to be less extreme as the swamps or the frozen wastelands of Coldmire, and was more idyllic, at least on the surface of things. Did we mention that it was the middle of the night? It was the middle of the night, so the ragtags made camp and made sure everyone was fed and comfortable, with the idea that next steps for everyone could be figured out the next morning. During their watch, Regal spoke with Nu Allah the Eladrin Paladin. He learned a bit more about where and when she came from, and about the Needon, the knights known as the Lost. During her time with the Order, they hadn't yet been scattered or fully errant. Although she'd never known of a time when Gwyn Wyn hadn't been dead, or Val Rilin had not been the Lord Shade and ruler of the land. She told Regal that during her time, the Order had been searching tirelessly for ways to realistically oppose Val Rilin, even going as far as to create them. She had left for Torneath before any real breakthrough, and didn't know if there ever even was a successful discovery. She suggested that if the ragtags headed to whatever remained of the Silver Spire, the Order's headquarters, on the stone shores, perhaps whatever notes or secrets could be there. On Varys's watch, Minko made contact through the Seer Vilena's sendings. The intrepid monk had left once-was with Vilena, Banderman and a group of 4 or 5 other resistance fighters. And they were heading to the southwest into Inwale, the Haunted Wood, to look for clues about the whereabouts of the Glimmer. The leaders of the resistance thought it would be best to search in the east of Merker Hain, while the ragtags searched the stone shores in the west for clues, and if something was discovered in the east, the ragtags could abandon whatever they were doing and head there quickly. Again, it wasn't the worst plan. This is great! The ragtags are heading southwest along the storm-plagued stone shores to the ruins of the Silver Spire, and Minko is going with like maybe 4 people and another ghost. I'm sorry, they're basically ghosts, all right? Into a haunted, twisted wood. Do I have that right? I have that right. Capital.